So we are back. We've completed the deck, and my cold is much better. Thank you for asking. Took a little while to get this all filmed, but here we are with the completed deck and the push rods attached. And now we're going to build the airframe. So we'll get this out of the way. We're not going to be dealing with it for a little while, and we're going to start pulling out blue foam. All right, you have enough blue foam in this kit to build 2 airframes. Build the airframe, and we have 5 sheets of foam right here. And we're just going to use 4 of them to build the airframe, and the last piece of foam will go for the stabilizers. So the way the foam is basically arranged is that we have a central sort of square here. I'm going to try and match the thicknesses of the foam a little bit, because they do vary in thickness a little bit. That's good. And these 2 can go right there, like that. And that can go here. I'll put them just like that. Okay. So this is the basic shape that we're making. See how all those go together? I'll pull them apart a little bit, make that absolutely clear. All right, and you can see this is essentially the shape. All right. So I'm going to show you how to tape these foam sections together. And this is a really important technique. So the first thing you want to do probably is just take a bunch of these, just do a bunch of little bits of tape, just to make things go a little faster, because you always end up losing the tape on the tape roll, and the packing tape's pretty thin. So you're going to want about 10 of these, I'm guessing. I've never really counted them before. Let's see if I'm right. 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's see how many I actually end up using. There's generally 2 per joint on one side. Okay, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I just want to get these out of the way because I'm going to be working. I'm going to show you the work. So this is one of the joints. And the way we do the joints is, instead of just taping them, pushing them together and taping here, I like to lift it up. You can see I'm lifting it up. And that means that when I put it down, you'll get a nice stiff joint. These aren't exactly the same height. They're off by a little bit. It's not going to matter. It'll be just fine. All right, so I lift it up, place the tape down, which I will do, and I put it down. You can see that sort of seals that up. Spin it around, same dealio. Lift it up, make that nice and tight. There you can see it, and make it flat. Okay. And then on the other side, I'll do this whole side, and then I'll show you. Oh, let's just finish this thing. Okay, so then we do a nice long stripe here, like that. Let's see, just the whole length of it. You can do that in multiple little ones if you want. That's fine. Try to keep this end of the tape stuck to something so that it doesn't wrap back. It'll slow you down and frustrate you. All right, then we take this one. We'll just do the other side too. Complete. All right, this one had a little bit of balled up stuff. Doesn't matter. Just cut it. And I don't lift it up here. I just kind of keep it nice and flat. I'm just going to put one in the middle. That's going to be enough. All right, and there we go. And then I can do a whole section like that. And for the whole length of it, wrinkles do not matter. Do not sweat the wrinkles. Wrinkles are first layer. This thing's going to be so wrinkly by the time you're done learning to fly with it. It ain't going to matter. Build a pretty one, then you can worry about it a little bit more. All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. Add more of them. Where's my cutter? Maybe trim a little bit. There's a good reason to not do the long strips until the end, but I just wanted to show you a complete cycle through. I had to trim those. I wouldn't bother doing that. I would just do the little bits and then put the long strips at the very end. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side here. Maybe have someone help you hold it if you want to, right here at the end. Oops, I don't like that so much, so I'm going to pull it up really gently, because if you pull the plastic film up, I'll show you what that looks like in a second. You weaken the material tremendously. So I'm going to lean that up, lay it flat, there, and then do the same thing over here. Sorry, you can't see it, can you? still leaning it the whole way. Okay, those are nice and tight. And then do the same thing here. Oops. Try to get the writing on the same side. Looks a little better. Another one of these. Lean it up. Again, try to keep this rear edge, because I'm going to make this the rear of the airplane. So I'm trying to keep that rear edge aligned and straight. Okay. And one here. And there. Okay. So we have this whole side done. We can go ahead and finish it with a nice long straight one. And a nice long straight one here. All right. And I'm going to flip it over. And we're going to do this one right there. Oops, just on the other side. Oh, we should do a single one first just to make sure it's right. So guess what? I need 11 of these. Doing this the way I did it. I'm missing exactly one. So I'll cut one out. Make that nice. There we go. Just leaving that flat, not trying to pick it up. And there we go. Let's finish this before that heater goes off. And there we have it. So that is an airframe, all ready to go. Both sides taped. That is in good shape. Now we're just going to trim on the edge. Don't even bother trimming on the edges because we're going to cut it all out. All right. Okay. So that's that. Now we're going to cut out the basic airframe, and that's a measuring process. It's pretty simple. The easiest thing to do is to pick the center of the airplane, that seam in the front as your center line, and a square is a very useful thing to have right now. Let me go find my Sharpie. I'll wander around the office. There we go. Oops, wrong kind of Sharpie. There we go, right kind of Sharpie. All right. So just for explicitness sake, and so you can really see what I'm doing, is I am going to draw the line down the center line here, but this is going to be 23 inches long, so I know how long this thing is. Boy, that one, not very good. Drawing Sharpie, and I'm gonna mark it up there. I've got a little stop up there. That's 23 inches up there. You just saw me make it. All right, you didn't see it, but I did it while you were watching at the bottom of it. Better cinematography here, folks. Sorry. Okay, and so the way this airplane is built, it's 21 inches and then 2 inches for the elevons, and that's 21 inches this direction, both of these directions. This piece of, this happens to be exactly 2 inches. So what I do is I go 21 inches, like that, to 21, right there, mark it, and do 21 over here. Same story. 21. If you don't have, something's exactly 2 inches wide, which most of these things won't be, you're going to have to mark it. So you can see right here, just to convince you that it's 2 inches. There it is, 2 inches perfectly. And then I square them off. You don't have to square them off. You can just keep it, if you want to keep it more triangle shaped, you can keep going that way with it, but I don't do that. I think it holds up a little better on crashes to not have this pointy ends. For the classic look. All right, so this is a little bit more complicated because let's say we don't have a long enough piece of ruler to get to the edge here, because we don't. This is only 2 feet long. Just find something else straight that you can line it up with. And there we go. That looks pretty well lined up. Don't have to be perfect. I'm just using that to extend it. There we go. It looks good. And then on the other end, you can see that's at the right spot up there. All right, I'm just going to draw this line. None of these measurements are super duper crucial. Just get it in the ballpark, folks. Plus or minus ½ an inch, not a problem. Okay, so that's good. Do the same trick over here. Let's start down at the other end and extend it so you can see what I'm doing. So I'll finish up there with something straight, a little piece of foam that I've got. Spare foam will work great. And get it started down here so they all line up good. Right there, see, all lined up. Here, stand where you can see it. There it is. Get that out of the way, draw our straight line. And then just finish the straight line. You know you're on the right general track with that piece of foam. There you go. So, oh gosh. Take the one, Sharpie does not want to throw down a lot of ink. Okay, so that's measured. We have the markings for the L-bonds. They're there. You're not going to cut this line yet, okay? This one you're leaving alone. I'm going to show you how to do that, but we'll just cut the outline, okay? We're just going to do the outline. Not this line here. Leave it alone. Okay, and don't bother cutting this one either, okay, in the middle. All right.